Today I'm going to show you how to make tomato jam. Now you want to slice up those tomatoes. I use a ceramic knife that I reserved just for tomatoes to keep it sharp. So next you're going to want to put this on the stove, and you want it on medium heat for about 10 minutes. You're going to let it simmer. I'm trying an experiment. I sliced about half of them, and the rest I left whole, so let's see how that works out. And then what we're going to do is we're going to start adding some ingredients. One of the things you want to add is some hot chili peppers. You can use serrano. These were from my friend Sam at the community garden, and they're super spicy. So in my Vitamix I put in a 1/4 cup of water, and I put in 3 chilies. And I'm going to go ahead and start this. And I have it on a low kind of setting, but on number 2. I want a little bit finalish, so I'll put it on 3. Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and add that. This stuff is strong. I'm going to swirl it around, try not to inhale it. So you may add as many peppers to your liking. Spice is just a matter of personal taste. I like it on the spicy side, and we're going to add sugar, so it's going to be that heat with a little sweet. And when I've done this before, I did 3 peppers, and it was like the heat came at the tail end of when you were tasting it, so it's not on the forefront, and it just gives it a nice little linger. So next you want to add a bay leaf. By the way, this came from my bay leaf shrub. I did end up buying the bay leaf plant, and I like it because now I know that these are going to be untreated, organic. All right, so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to add our vinegars, and I'm going to use that onion blossom vinegar. I made a video about how to do this. I'll put the link down at the bottom. You want to start off with some apple cider vinegar. You want 3/4 cup. And I've already poured that into the measuring cup, so now I'm just going to add a 1/4 cup of the onion blossom vinegar. And if you don't have the onion blossom vinegar, you can just go ahead and use all apple cider vinegar. So we're going to go ahead and add that. And I kind of over poured, so I'm going to reserve a 1/4 cup here. That looks about right. All right. Next, we're going to add our allspice. We need an 1/8 teaspoon. And then we'll need our salt. 1/4 teaspoon of salt. You can use, I use Himalayan. You could use sea salt, whatever salt you like. And then you're going to add 1 whole clove. So we got that all in the pot. And the last thing we're going to add is our sugar. So we're going to add 2½ cups of sugar. And you're just going to stir this until it's all incorporated. And then you're just going to let it boil down for a while. So I'm going to put the lid on so it heats up faster, and we'll be back. All right, so this has been boiling for a while now and has reduced. So one thing I wanted to tell you, the tomatoes that I left whole, I ended up having to pop them just by going to the side of the pan like this and pressing them against the pan because they would not boil down. So might be better, like my mom says, haste makes waste. You might want to slice them in half, but it was good to experiment because you never know. It might have been a good shortcut. So I'm going to go ahead and shut the heat off on this. You could, I guess, add pectin, but for this one I'm not. And now I'm going to ladle them into the jars, and I'll be back. I was able to get 4 half-pint jars from this, and of course what you want to do is you want to always wipe the rim of your jars The rim is the important part because you want it to have a good seal. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put these into the Instapot. And I added some water to the bottom, and I've got my silicone mat on there. It's important when you're using your Instapot, you have some kind of barrier between the bottom. And then I'm going to put the lid on. Make sure it's set to the steamer's not on vent. And then just go ahead and put it on for steam 10 minutes. And then it'll be canned. Now, if you don't have an Instant Pot, that's okay. You could do a hot water bath. So it's been 20 minutes since the Instapot is done canning the... Oh, you hear all that popping noise? Music to my ears. 4 pops. That means they've all been sealed. So let's go ahead and stick these guys out. Take them out. And we're just going to let them cool. There we go. So you've got these beautiful jars of jam. They're still boiling, as you can see, and we'll just let them get to room temperature. And then since I heard it pop, and the little tip so that you don't get rust on your rims of your bands here, so I'd like to remove the banded, what do you call these, doodads from collars from the jars, so that it won't rust on the inside, because these guys you can reuse. But only do that if you hear it seal. Don't do that if you haven't, if you're not sure if it's sealed, because the pressure from inside the jar will create like a volcanic eruption. Trust me, I've done that. So don't do that. All right, there you go. Let me show you some completed jars. Oh, you want to look inside my canning pantry here? There you go. This is what it looks like when it's done. Beautiful. All right, and later on I'll show you a recipe in another video on what you can do with this. Until next time, thanks a lot for watching. Always appreciate your likes and your comments. And if you haven't subscribed, I hope you will consider that. Thanks. Take care.